Hold on. One moment. All right. Can everyone hear us okay?
Yep.
Good. Wonderful. Hello. Barbara, I hear you didn't have paint in your kit.
Yes, I'm making it up.
Well, you're a pro by now. You could be teaching these classes. So,
Well, there you go. I need to come to Carlisle.
yes, you do. I'm just going to make sure I have everyone in here and everything set up. It looks like we do. My name is Emily, and I am the wholesale manager here at Meadowbrook Gourds, and I'm also the person that's usually behind the camera and all of our videos and photos and all the things. And also answering questions on Facebook and all of those fun things here at Meadowbrook. And you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Amber, and I am what we call a gourd beautician here at the farm. So I do a lot of what we're going to be doing today is gluing things together, making it come to life and look like the actual piece that it is. So, yeah.
Great. Today we are making this adorable little mushroom cottage. Here with, I think, Amber, does this every day. So she's going to show us how to make everything for this. And do you want to go through all the parts while I go grab us plates?
Oh, yes.
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 Yes. If you haven't grabbed yourself, we recommend a bowl of water to clean your paintbrush, a paper plate or something to put your paint on.
Yep.
And some paper towels, or even if you have baby wipes, those are awesome. If you would get those together too. Amber's going to go through all the parts that you're going to receive in your kit, and I'm going to go grab those plates I forgot.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, I'll go through all the parts. If there are any parts that you guys did not receive, just send us a message, email, I think Dory, and we'll get back to you and get that to you. So in your kit, you would have gotten some paints, a paintbrush. These are going to be your glue. So you should have two of them. So the little two white containers are going to be your glue. So don't mistake that for your white. Your white should be in your paints. So it's a creamier color. You should have your greenery. That'll go for the grass on the very bottom like this. And then your wood biscuit. 2 Q-tips. This is going to be your little mushroom. So it will come like this. It'll be like this shape and then this shape. And so that'll go right on top and it'll look just like this one. Okay. You should have a roof. And then your gourd. Now, your gourd, there is a rubber band around the gourd, and that is to keep all of these parts and pieces together and just so they didn't get mixed up. Now, I will say these are, like we have advertised, are handcrafted. So, and I say that because these windows, when you take this rubber band off, these windows have to go on that particular side, because if you try and mix them up, they're not going to fit in there exactly how they're supposed to. And that's because it's handcrafted. So we're going to go ahead, and I think that's all of our parts and pieces. So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get us started if everybody is good.
You look good. Okay. Got some thumbs up. I like it. Cool. All right.
So I'm going to just take my rubber band off. What I'm doing is I'm holding my hand on the one side where that window is. So the other one is on top. Taking it off so I have that window in my hand. Then I'm going to set it down and put those windows to the side that they need to go.
Just a little bit.
And then I'll also take the door out.
So just keep them in order. Okay.
Yes. Just keep them off one side or the other. I typically, just as I'm painting, I will mix them up myself. I've done that.
So say I am not good at keeping them separated, but
for right now, they're going to stay separated. Okay. So I think the first thing that I want us to do let's do our brown.
Okay.
So we're going to start with our brown rim of the door frame. So this is the piece that we're going to paint brown, because this house part is actually a mix between the brown and the white. So that's why I want to start with the brown, and then we'll go to our big piece so that that can get all good and dry. So for that, I just like to wet my brush just a little bit. Not, I wouldn't make it super wet, like dripping wet. I just get it just damp a little bit. It makes the paint go on easier. And then I'm going to scoop my paint out onto my plate just a little bit, and then I'll start painting. You don't have to put it out on your plate. You can if you want to. That's what I do. I just like doing that. But you can just dip it right in there.
I like to do that because it allows me to work the paint into the paintbrush with the water, because
Yes.
I just like to do very thin, even coats. I think it looks nicer in the end.
Yes, I agree. And I also want to give you a tip that for first off, you don't have to use the paints exactly that we gave you. You can mix them up. You can use your own paints that you have at home. But I also want to add too that the paints that we gave you, you can mix and match them. So like this door frame, I'm telling you to do it the dark brown. You can do it either of the colors that we have, or you can mix the colors. Whichever way you want to do it, it's your piece. I'm going to do it brown. Now, another thing that I do want to say too is if you want it to look more of like a dye, these are paints, but I can tell you how to make it look more of a dye so that you get the natural gourd showing through it a little bit more. And that is just to really water down your paint. That'll get it to look a little bit more like dye.
Someday we will have a kit for you guys that has dye.
Yes.
We just have to figure out how to safely mail it.
Yes.
And that's my favorite thing, is to make it look kind of like it's dye, that you can see that it's the natural gourd.
Yep.
Should I make sure that I'm getting all the inside rim of the gourd here where
Yes.
it's textured? Okay.
Yes, I would make sure you get on the inside, just because when we go to put this door in, you're gonna see the like edges.
And this outer rim should not matter, right?
No, that you do not have to, because that'll get glued into the gourd.
Okay.
Very good questions.
You never know.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I never know. You always know. I never know.
And with these, it doesn't matter how many coats you do. It's like I said, it's your piece. I think, I don't know what I want to do.
I just left mine pretty
That's like the dye with
kind of, yeah. I'm not doing a great job at keeping it from being splotchy, but I let it dry a little bit and then move the paint around. It'll clear up any of the little spots.
Yep. And then this is like just paint. So you can see the difference there between the two. And there's really no good way of holding this without getting your fingers all messy.
I would be the messy anyway. I am the messy one here. If you hear noises in the background, we are in an extension of our wood workshop out in the middle of our 200-acre farm. And right outside the door, there's about 6 high school kids sorting all of our gourd harvest that we just.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So they're running, well, the adults are running the skid loaders and they're sorting all of the gourds. So those are the noises you might. They have to, each gourd is different, and a gourd seed doesn't just grow this exact size. It could range in diameter by quite a bit. Yeah. So they harvest them, put them all in bins and organize them, and then they have to actually sort them by inch diameter.
Yes.
So they'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all the way up to 12 inches. That each one of those has to be sorted into.
Yeah.
It's quite the feat to get to this.
It truly is. I have done it. So it is very, very much so. A lot goes into it. Okay, so I think mine is done. I got as many coats as I would like for on mine.
So not dry, but okay. So you're just
Yes,
okay.
yes, just done and painted at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and just have us do our gourd.
Okay.
This part of the gourd, the very large part. And this one is going to be a mix between the white and the brown. Now, I did not do this original, and so I'm not exactly sure how much it has been mixed. So it's going to be up to you and what color kind of that you want for this part of the gourd.
I like that because I personally wanted to make mine lighter.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just a paint. I change everything.
Well, I like to change it too. So
I think
yeah.
it's really cute, but
Oh yeah, I think it's adorable. So what I would do is I would take your brown paint out, put it on your plate. Now,
Come on.
get your white paint out. Just be careful because we do need to put white polka dots if you choose to. I don't know if you can see that. There's white polka dots on that smaller mushroom. So just so you know.
So don't stick your brown paintbrush in the white to get your white paint. Almost did that, Amber.
Yes. So I'm thinking you can rinse your paintbrush out. Yeah, let's just do that because we need both of our Q-tips. I was thinking we could use one of the Q-tips, or you know what? You could also close this and just dump it out. I think that'll work too.
So get to mixing our perfect brown.
Yes, whatever color you would like. Now I do want to mention too, this little mushroom here, the base of it, so this piece is the same color as this house. So if you're going to go and follow this original, that's what you're gonna want to do. You want to paint both this piece and your house.
So in order to get that and not mix the colors again and get it the wrong shade, because that's what's going to happen, how much paint do you think I need? I stumped you. I have, I'll let you see in that light, but I have a very thin coat on like half. So do a
I
bit
would
more.
use almost all of your brown. Let's do it this way.
Okay.
Almost all of your brown, because we don't need the brown for anything else unless you choose to. Yes. It's very confusing because if you're using different colors for these, it's kind of hard. So I'm gonna go off of what is this. So to get this to have enough color of that, I would use most of your brown and mix in the white that you would like with it. That way you have enough. I think it should be totally fine. I don't think there should be an issue with that. So yeah.
Okay.
Because you're gonna make yours lighter, and I think I might make mine a little darker.
Okay, and I think with those dots, we shouldn't need a ton of the white paint, right?
Right. So you could use like half of your white too.
All right.
No, I might have just made the color that is. Okay.
So half and half, that gets you there?
I think so. Very, very, very close if it's not exactly. Now, when you go to paint your little house, just like we painted the inside rim of this door, I want you to paint the inside of the cutouts of the windows and the door frame. You do not need to paint the very top of this gourd or the very bottom, because the very top is going to get covered by your roof. So, but I would go up until at least here so that you have it mainly covered. Yeah, I definitely made that color.
There, perfect. Well, that's your job, so I'm glad you're really good at it.
That's okay. I like it.
It's a nice color.
It is.
I specifically signed up like a class sign up, so you might see more people than just Connie, me, Dory, and Amber.
Yes.
Coming up here in the near future.
I know.
Even Kara's done a class recently. She's one of our crafters.
In
so she did the
person.
cutting. Oh, okay.
Yep. I think she's only done it in person, and then Meg did a Zoom. So if you've been on some of these recently, Meg would have been there for that one.
She's always a fun time.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you're getting bored of us, if you do our classes, you might see some new faces. But yes, I'm very excited to have signups because there's certain projects like this one. I was like, oh, I definitely want to make a mushroom cabbage.
I know, that was why I started to it too, because I really wanted to. There is another, oh, one of the ones coming up that I really want to do as well.
Oh, I did bring samples of our, is it the whale?
No.
Oh, okay. But I wanted to do the whale. I don't know if anyone signed up for it yet or not.
I don't think so.
I might erase their name. Yeah, so I'll show you guys a peek of the classes that are coming out too. I think they're going to be neat.
I think so too.
We actually released a new design of a mushroom cottage this year. I don't know that it's been fully released officially for on our website or anything.
Yeah, I don't
But
know.
it's much larger than this, and it's natural actual house, and then it has a purple roof.
Yes.
And I really like it.
They are really cute. Now I know which one you're talking about. Yes.
And so when I
very
saw
cute.
Mushroom Cottage class, I was like, yep, that's for me. On the farm here right now, as you can maybe hear the sorting going on, we have, I think, officially harvested all the gourds out of the field because we cut them off the vine in the fall. They sit out and harden all winter. And then we will sort them and store them until we're ready to craft with them, and then they'll get washed. So they'll go out and be stored in their dirty, moldy, muddy state.
Yep.
And then we do all the washing and stuff. So, but it's always really exciting this time of year to have like a fresh new crop to work with.
Yes.
Because that is another really interesting challenge with what we do is we create these designs based off of a general gourd shape, because it has to have a little bit of, be able to be flexible because the gourds are not all perfectly shaped. But then you're not guaranteed that you're going to get exactly 200 of a specific shape of gourd.
No, not at all.
So sometimes we have to get very creative.
Cool. It is darker.
Just a little bit darker.
Just a little bit.
Mine's more of like a creamy gray color. I like that. Taupey? Taupe?
Yeah. I like it. What's really cool with these is you can make them completely your own.
I agree. And then, like everyone's like roof is going to be a different shape.
Yeah.
And that's always really neat.
Okay. So I am going to, I also think it's really cool too with your paintbrush. If you want it to look a little bit more like texturized, you could honestly dab your paintbrush over it, or you can make streaks in the gourd as well. Just some ideas.
Those are good ones.
Okay. To paint this, I'm literally sticking it on my finger and just painting it like this.
So I put on a pretty good coat on this, but I don't love how streaky it is. Are we gonna maybe paint that and can I come back to this?
Yes, yes, we're for sure. This is gonna for sure need another coat.
Okay.
We just, yes, need to let it dry and then we'll come back. So I'm gonna paint this here. Which I might honestly make this maybe a little darker.
Oh.
Just because it is the like root of the mushroom or the base. So I might make it just a little bit darker.
Very nice. And what are you crafting? We're done with spring, right? You're done crafting spring. So what are you crafting now?
Yes. Honestly, it is a big mix of winter and fall in our room. There are both. So I can't even say that we're on one season. So we're on both. It's really nice though. I love that. I love that we do a mixture and it's not just like.
So you're not making 500 of the same snowman in one day. You'll have a little bit of a break until Christmas time.
Yes, yes.
I have to steal a baby wipe because my hands are very, very messy.
I will say though, like come Christmas time, we'll be working on spring. So we won't even be touching Christmas at Christmas time. It'll be spring. So that's just how that works, and I like it.
I'm still in spring in my office.
Yes.
We are preparing. If you're local, we have on Friday a family fun day at the farm. And it's like you can come and paint craft kits, kind of like what we're doing right here. But it's not a class. It's you can come and just paint whatever kits you would like to purchase in the store. We have trolley rides, free tours throughout the day of our crafting area, free samples of food. I think there's a hot dog food truck coming, and yard games. Just like a fun day for Good Friday, since a lot of the kids are off school. So we have that, which is a big. And then the next weekend is Easter.
Oh, this
Or I'm
weekend.
sorry. Yes, this weekend is Easter. The next weekend is our spring
it?
festival.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of fun. We have an adult egg hunt. People think when we have our gourd egg hunt that it's for kids, but it's actually challenging. It's in our winter wheat that we grow. And those fields will be sunflowers come fall. But it's the grass or the wheat can be quite tall, usually around 6 inches. And we actually hide gourd dyed eggs. And then we have prize eggs as well. So you can win up to $100 or free gourds. I think Dory made a couple really neat one-of-a-kind gourds and chocolate and all sorts of things that you can win, as well as finding the eggs. And when you find them, you get to take them home. Yes, they don't have chocolate in them, but they're really cute to decorate with. So we have that. And then we have, I think, around 25 to 30 artisan craft vendors coming, and you can come and paint your own birdhouse, bird feeder, butterfly house too.
Yeah,
I know it's a big event. There's a lot going on.
It is. I'm excited. I am very excited for it.
So we're just, gourd crafters out on a farm, but our events just keep getting larger and larger.
Yeah,
more things. So we're gonna.
And it's crazy because
an event company.
They do get larger, and you are out and about. Like I'll go to, since working here, I'll go to a doctor's appointment, and the doctor will ask you where you work, and so I'll tell them, and they're like, "Oh, I've never heard of that." I'm like, "What? How could you not?" So it's just cool.
Yeah, it's a small town. I should know.
Yeah.
And we're only a team of around 18 full-time people. And so our Sunflower Festival, I think it rained, but we are estimating about 20,000 people to come. And so we are a team of 18. We are not event managers by any shape of the imagination, but we're small but mighty.
Yes, absolutely.
We figure it out.
Okay, so I changed it up by making mine look a little textured.
Okay. I have to let mine dry a little bit because I'm just moving the paint around.
But yes, so Emily's doing, are you still gonna just do it solid?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
So mine solid.
And you think it'll need a third?
I could just do a light brushing up of it, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So roughly 2 or 3. Yeah, I'll be done after this one. Just making it. I don't know. I like doing it. I like doing these kind of.
I agree. This one's fun. Second coat onto this, the little mini mushroom bottom, and that one is nice and fast.
Yes, that one should. Yes, I have mine all finished.
While we finish finishing painting those, excuse me, my talking skills are off today. I can show you the other samples of classes that we have coming up. So let's see here. The first one that will be coming up, and I think the sales end for this rather soon, is a really cute little birdhouse with a bluebird, and you'll build out a nest and put a little egg in it.
So excited for that one.
The little eggs. And again, this is like the same color as this Mushroom Cottage. So they could work well together, or you can always, anytime, choose different paints to go with the kit. So there is that. Then we be careful because Ashley designed it and she didn't glue it together so
Yeah.
that it could be used. Then we have this guy, and I can't wait. So we have a local artist that makes these whales, and he'll actually make little baby whales too to go with it. They're so cute. And his little whale fins and tail are made out of gourds as well. He sells these in our store, and they're very popular, but we can't ship them because the tail and fins are so delicate for the shipping process. So we've never been able to actually sell them outside of our store. But since you guys are going to assemble it yourselves, we can offer it as a class. So super cute. You'll have a bottom piece that you can customize. This is a cut little smile for the whale. The eyes. I love this piece. So super cute.
Very cute.
So that'll be coming up, and that is Wally the Whale, June 17th. And then for July, we're doing Christmas in July, which is huge around here because we love Christmas. So we're doing our very popular Windsor snowman. So he's really cute. He has bendable, posable arms and legs that you can put in. And yeah, he's a very popular design.
Yeah.
And he's super cute.
Made lots of them.
And of course, you'll get this ribbon and stuff, but if you wanted to customize him, you're certainly welcome to go get your own ribbon and make him yours. And yeah, so he'll be really fun.
Okay, so at this point, I have the house painted, all done, drying though. Door frame painted and done, and the base of your little mushroom painted and done. So the last of the pieces are all going to be this red color, which is why we got 2 of them in our piece. So that's what we're gonna do.
Okay. I need a new plate. I'm messy.
I will take one too.
Okay. We have really tiny plates today.
Yes, that's okay. Again, you can keep dipping in your little, thank you, in your little paint container, or you can dump it out and use your plate, which I like to just dump it out and use the plate. And this is a little bit of a thicker paint, so it's not dumping out as easy as the white did.
So the we call the very warm white our white. It's actually an antique white.
Yes.
Which no one realizes that that's what we use for our snowmen and everything.
Everything.
And that is a latex paint.
Mhm.
And then the red, would that be most likely a craft paint? Or is that also latex?
This is also latex.
Okay.
Yes. The red paint is also latex. The brown is not. And you can tell the difference as soon as you paint this red on. Watch me. I'll let you know. Because I'm pretty sure this is the latex paint. But you can absolutely see the difference, and it'll just be shiny.
Yeah. And those can easily be mixed. Essentially very similar as far as chemically, right? So like we could mix the white and the brown, all of those things. Absolutely. And you can use any paint on gourds.
Yes.
Ooh,
it doesn't matter which one first. This was right here. This one. If you do get paint in the little hole of your door, I just dabbed my paintbrush in it and it comes right out. You do not need to get the sides of your door. I personally would get on the inside of the heart. Okay. But that's just me. You don't have to.
I'm gonna do what you say. So last year, Dory and I did the math because it had never been done on how many gourds we process in a year, whether it's raw gourds, which are our unfinished gourds, which we have to grow, sort, wash, and maybe do minor cuts. craft kits, like everything. And I think our little team processes over 100,000 gourds a year. Some of it is cheating because some of our gourds are this small, but this still needs washed and it still is picked out of the field and cut off of a vine. So though it is small, it
Still gets the same.
Still gets the same treatment.
Yeah. And is the same time processing as the other ones as well.
Now, have you ever seen our team wash the little tiny like spinners and eggs?
No.
I have never either. I feel like I'm going to figure that out this week and I'll report back. Because I was just thinking about it. And so we essentially have a giant washing machine.
Yes.
It has pressure washers in it and essentially just the middle part that would spin a washing machine. We have that in there and the gourds are spun around in a circle in warm water and the pressure washers agitate and clean them. That's the first step. And then we take pressure washers with our team and they will do it manually as well. And I was just thinking, you can't really do you just throw all of these in that wash tank?
See, I don't know how they do the little ones. I know like the larger ones, yes, they do just throw them all into this tank and the tank spins and it spins for like a couple hours and then they pull them out and that's it. They dry them on the carts and then so I know that, but the real tiny gourds, I would just think that the pressurized water would break them.
I know. Okay, I'm gonna have to find out. We'll write a blog post or I'll do a video or something on it. Check our Facebook. Really cool. I will share the results. But yes, I want to know.
Yeah, that would be really. I would love to know.
And our founder Ben, who's my father-in-law, he's the person that discovered gourds by accident and is a wood crafter. Decided to make these really fun luminaries and crafts out of them. Yep. He is just a very clever guy. And so he actually invented the gourd washing machine. And now there's lots of other gourd farms that have made their own gourd washing machines, but people used to do it by hand in a bucket and like scrub brushes, individually cleaning every single one. But then they came on our tours here at the farm and saw our washing machine and you know, it's such a small community. We're happy to provide help. It's not, you know, but it's not a big trade secret. But yeah, he invented it himself.
Yeah, and a lot of people think that we use like chemicals and stuff to clean our gourds, and we don't. It's just water.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people will use like bleach in a bucket and all, and yeah, we don't do any of that.
I am right now working on the inside cutout of the windows. So
that's a little tougher than the rest, isn't it?
Yes, it's a little tedious, but I like to do that first because then I can smooth the paint out on the edges afterwards. You do not have to paint the edges of the window though, because that gets into the actual gourd.
So are we just working on doors and windows now, or should we paint the coat on the roof as well? Or,
yes, okay. Coat on the roof and the little mushroom because they are all that red color.
I'll just swap between them. And you're right, this paint is different to work with.
It is.
It's not as chalky.
Yes, this is that latexy paint that we use rather than just our regular acrylic paint.
This has to be kind of refreshing for you, Amber, because you don't paint here. So you paint like sponge painting and stuff, but we would typically spray this with this.
These would dip
spray gun.
Yes, that, or I feel like most of the time they're like dyed. They would have been dyed a red color.
Yeah.
Rather than paint.
So you get to paint.
I do. I love painting so much.
We were actually just talking about that before the class started. and how we both have very little ones.
Yep.
And so creative hobbies like this, you don't get to do as much of anymore. You get to do a lot of coloring.
Yes, lots of coloring, and my little girl loves, but it's
not it's not this.
it gets messy. Leave it at that. And sometimes I just don't feel like it. Okay. And then,
So rim, do the rim.
yes, yes, I would for sure do the rim. And a lot of people ask me if we should paint the stem. And that I always say, it is completely up to you. I personally think it makes it look more complete with it painted, but I know a lot of people like to leave it just kind of natural. So it's whatever you would prefer.
Painting the textured part of where it has been cut is like my favorite thing because it just absorbs.
Yep.
It just absorbs the paint in.
Just like wood. And so
Yeah.
it just shows you how much these gourds are just like wood. I will say though, we've had, fun fact, when you do paint like the very inside portion here of the gourd, it takes forever to dry.
Really?
Yes.
I guess it's, well, because loofahs are made out of gourds
Uh-huh.
and they're a sponge, so they absorb water. So it would just like absorb and it just doesn't dry well because of, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Wow, I wouldn't have thought of that,
Mhm.
but that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's why we suggest people to not paint the very, like, especially with baskets, we recommend you not paint the very inside of them, just because they just don't dry the fastest. So when we're here and they have to dry a little bit faster, it just yeah.
That makes so much sense. I never thought of that. So my stem, I
Yes.
decided to finish it nicely and paint it,
Uh-huh.
but it is quite a frazzled mess of a stem.
Yes.
And that happens.
Mhm.
You could cut this with heavy duty scissors or wire cutters, right?
Yep. Mhm.
Or if you're like me, this is like, to me, this is a cute little mossy gnome house.
Mhm.
And so I'm going to leave it.
Yes. But I like that. Yeah.
I might just brush like a little bit of the paint on the frayed bits, but I think it's kind of cute.
I do too.
Oh yeah, yours is nice and
Mine's just solid. Okay, so I have all the first coat done with all of those pieces that are red. I'm going to go back and start where I started and paint a second coat.
okay.
I almost think it might need just like touched up in a few areas after the second coat as well. Now, when you go to do your windows, you do not need to get in the cutout again. I would just paint the very surface of that window.
Okay. So we're also very busy making all of our birdhouses that we can possibly make because we make outdoor birdhouses in 2 different sizes for different varieties of birds. But we have to make them in our greenhouse, which is very weather dependent. They can't be made in the winter time. They can essentially be made during the warmer months. But our farmers need the greenhouse to start growing our gourd seeds. We're going to start planting our seeds here soon in the greenhouse. So if you're looking for a birdhouse, it's about that time of year. Get it soon because they won't be able to make them for quite a while.
Yes.
And that's my husband works here as well. And so we get to work together. It's very nice. And but he is right now relegated to the greenhouse to make as many birdhouses as possible, which is actually his favorite job.
I was gonna say, I think he enjoys it from what I've heard. I have never really asked him, but
that is his absolute favorite job at Meadowbrook. He has lots of hats that he wears, but that's his favorite one.
That's awesome.
Getting stuck in the greenhouse painting birdhouses.
Yeah, because it's kind of like you're outside and it's like warm in there too, and it's like, oh, I don't know. I would like that too.
Hidden away from everyone, quiet. He says that, but I can still find him. He is also my boss, which is actually, a lot of people when they hear that they cringe, but like he's a very nice boss, and
yes,
he expects a lot of me. I don't get any special treatment, but
yes,
but it's a family run business, but they're all very good at work is work.
Yes.
And family time is family time.
I am honestly very impressed by that in itself. Because I am not family whatsoever. But they treat all of us like family, and I love it so much.
Yeah, if you came and spent the day with us, I don't know that you would be able to tell who was married to who and who was whose sister. Yeah,
you would not, because we've had like people that come in and are new hires that come in, and they like find out weeks later or months later that, oh, they're married, or just would never know because we just act like a normal workplace.
Well, Dory, who does classes here with us and runs our retail store, she has been here since essentially the beginning. And then she kind of recruited her husband to come and be a crafter. And I don't think that they talk about work outside of work ever. And they don't work in any part of the same building.
Yeah.
So that always surprises people.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
And Dory's sister works in the sales office with me. She does our bookkeeping and helps me out. And you know their sisters because they look alike. And people get them confused all the time. But beyond that,
I think they sound alike too.
Yeah. If you took that away, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Hi, buddy. How you doing, bud?
I'm looking out the window. I think all those poor kids are just working in the rain right now.
I was wondering.
I just heard a really loud rain, and they all have their hoods up and they're just sorting away. They're the most hardworking,
truly,
kids ever.
Yeah, and they're really good kids, honestly.
Yeah. Well, and the farmers manage the farm crew. And the farmers are Ashley, who you see in our videos and who does a lot of our designs, and her dad is Ben, who's the founder. And so they hire these kids, and they actually get paid based on like a rating system of how quickly and efficiently they worked for the night.
Yep.
So they are very motivated to
work fast,
but be accurate. And I think they do a really good job.
Yeah.
It's not easy work for, I'm a lot older than you, so I can say, but it's not easy work for older people, but Amber has done it rather recently, right? Because it's a lot of bending down and farm crew and moving very quickly.
Yes. My oldest daughter is 3, so she's not that old, but I have done it between her and my second child, so. But I have not done it in, I think, it feels like a long time. I loved it though. Just with 2 little girls, it's just not
until they can work on farm crew with you.
Oh, and I'm so excited because I think they would love it. Well, the one, I don't know what the other one's gonna love. She's 7 months, so.
My father-in-law is the founder, like I said, and he has retired, and he watches all of the grandchildren of all the kids that work here. And there are 5 of them up there, right?
I think so. The ones in school, but
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, 5, 4 all the time. Or yeah, 4 all the time and then 5. And he also takes them out into the fields and makes them work for money sometimes. And I think he really is thinking about, he's training them really young. They're all going to be a farm crew someday.
He's pouring.
They're still working. Yeah, it is absolutely pouring out. They're probably like, no, we want to
They're
get
gonna
done.
be so.
Well, look at us. We get to sit in here with these lovely ladies
Just
and
watch
paint
that.
boards.
Just watch them.
Oh, we have the life today.
Oh boy. Well,
So if you lose us, it is because it's raining pretty hard and we are on a farm with satellite internet.
so
How's
I
it?
think
So go ahead.
after 3 coats, everything should be good. And the 3rd coat's just like touch up.
Everyone doing it okay?
Yep.
I feel like we haven't done anything too terribly challenging yet. Just a lot of painting on this one.
Yes, lots and lots of painting. And then fun part is gluing it all together, which won't take long.
Oh my gosh. My hands are like embarrassingly. I don't even know how I do it. Like I have like paint splatters on my hands, guys.
Okay.
It's okay. I do too. Honestly, I do too.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
If you're the professional and you have them, I feel a lot better about it.
Yeah, mine are mainly like on my fingertips, like where I'm holding the board. But I do have some on my palms.
Okay.
So yeah, you're good.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just waiting for my roof to dry so I can.
I'm just working on one. I think I need like a little bit more on my little baby mushroom cap,
Yeah,
but he's almost done. I promise.
it's okay.
Are you guys done or need more time?
I'm good.
You're good?
Did you hit record on this?
I did.
Okay. I thought
Thank
you
you.
did, but I wanted to, before we were like done, I wanted to ask.
And have so the majority of people that do our kits, hi, hello, they watch them afterwards. They like to do it on their own time and watch the video and do it. So the recording is very important.
Yes.
And then they would miss all of our chatting too.
Yes.
Do you have any tips as to how to lay this down? I keep messing it up. Should I
That's
just hold
okay.
it for a little bit?
So you can hold it for a little bit, but if you do put your finger on at least some part of it, you can cover it up with one of the dots.
You are so smart.
Yes, that's my thoughts.
Okay. All right. I'm really liking the color I came up with there.
I do. It's really pretty. That is good.
Good.
So we won't need our paintbrush anymore once you get your paint all painted. we will just need the back of our paintbrush. We will need it, just the back of it. And our white paint, so we can do the little dots, which my top is also super wet still. So let's start to glue some things together a while.
Okay.
While that top dries. So we can do that because I don't want our paints to mix.
All right, I'm doing a little touch-up work.
That's okay.
I actually got my little red sprays on my piece. So, but it's okay. It'll all blend in.
Okay. I think mine's good. So let's go ahead and I'm going to have us glue in our windows. So you'll need a Q-tip, a glue pod, your 2 windows, and your big piece. We'll also glue our door frame in. Let's do that too. Since we have the glue out, we'll just do all of that. And the way to glue this is you'll take your Q-tip, you'll dip it into your tacky glue here. And you'll put the glue on the inside rim of these cutouts. Now, I would put the paint on the inside of the cutout, if that makes sense. So like you don't want the paint, the glue to be on the very edge out here where the surface of the gourd is, just because when you push that window in, some of that will seep out, which is okay. You can easily wipe it and it dries clear, but if it gets super globby, you will see that. So it just gets kind of shiny. And so I like to just try and keep that on the inside of that cutout. And you don't have to run your Q-tip down the whole, like all 4 sides. You can do the middle portion of all 4 sides, if that makes sense.
So you don't have to like worry too much about the corners or anything like that. Just
right.
Okay.
Yeah, just the inside of the cutout. And
doesn't have to be a ton of glue, right?
right. Just enough to give it some kind of tack. And another idea is if you think that you did switch your windows around, just dry fit them first. So meaning like just don't put any glue in them and see if they fit in that side and then place them on that exact side. Somehow I managed to not mix them and so they're totally fine. But just in case you did, that's what I would do. And yes, they should fit perfectly if they're the right window. And also before you would switch the window to the other side to see if you switch them up completely, turn them upside down. Just in case that also could be a factor too.
I just had to do that.
Yes.
Now my window, again, messy. My window, I flipped it upside down and then I got a little tiny bit of paint on there. I'm gonna wipe it off and I bet you it'll be totally fine.
Yes.
Without any big touch-ups. So
yep. And what's nice about this is you can just easily take your paintbrush and touch that right up.
yeah,
And it should
I'm just
cover
using
it.
a baby wipe and it's the red's coming right off of my gray.
Which is why we love baby wipes.
Yes. Yep.
They're so useful.
Both windows are in. And then I'm gonna do my door frame. And I did the same thing. I put the glue around the inside portion of that door frame. And I'm just going to take that and push that right down in there. I would not push too hard when you push the pieces into your gourd, just because I don't want them to break. If they do break, it's okay. Just glue them back together. That's what we do. And yeah.
So like if the gourd breaks, so we tend to use, if there's a little small crack or something like that, just wood caulk for them.
Yep.
You can even use like the spackling. I have found that it just doesn't get hard enough for my liking, but it would certainly work for you as well if that's what you have lying around.
Yep, absolutely. And then once you get your door frame in, you can also glue your door in, and then all those will be glued. So, but take your time. I know when you run into issues, it takes a little longer.
I just had a little bit of a wet window, so I'm going a little bit slower.
That's okay. I want to add a little bit of white to the sides of my house, just to make it, I feel like my door frame blends in with my house just a little bit.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So I'm just gonna add some streaks to it.
To be careful with this because I want to keep it in my house. Because we both work at Meadowbrook, my husband has a very few, if not no gourds in the house rule, but he cannot say no if I made it myself.
Right.
So
yeah, it's funny. You would think, I personally do not have a lot of gourds in my house either. And I do a lot of the classes, but I like to give them to my family.
my grandmas have a lot of my gourd projects.
It's just so, I don't know. I think it's just so special to them. As much as special it is to us, I think it's even more special to them that we do that. So, and I just like to bring smiles to my grandma's faces. So.
Yeah. I usually like to do that too, but you know what? This one is for me.
And that's okay. This one is also probably going to be for me.
Now I do have Amber. I'm going to show them too.
Yes.
I'm extra messy today. I shouldn't joke that I'm so messy because then I really am. I have that bead glue. Is that something I should be concerned about? Should I be wiping that with a baby cloth or a baby wipe or something? Or do you think that should be fine?
So it should be fine. I personally would wipe it a little bit. What I normally do is, we don't have any with us, but I would take a toothpick. That way it doesn't smear a whole bunch.
Could I use one of the ends of these?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You could use that.
Just felt like that looked like a little too much to be.
Yeah.
Okay, that's nice and easy. Perfect.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, a little, yeah. A little bit showing is okay. It just, when it gets super globby, that's when it's like, need to wipe it.
Okay.
And drop it in my glove.
We're both gonna be a little messy today. That's okay.
Yeah.
This is like mom's night out, paint night for us.
A little bit of red in this too.
We're having fun. Alright. Cool. Are you guys having better luck than me? Staying nice and clean with your glue?
These cut out this particular gourd is very thin, and that's why we say about them breaking, because if you would drop, I guarantee if I would drop this right now, it would crack because of how thin this gourd is. We do have some really thick gourds, and there's really no rhyme or reason with that. Like it depends on the weather of that year of the planting. So
Oh,
Yeah, so we grow a thickness of gourd that we prefer because we cut them with a jigsaw. But if you were to grow these exact same gourds in, say, Arizona or California or somewhere with a really dry climate, they're going to get so thick. And those are great for carving, using a Dremel and like, carving in that regard. But we would never be able to cut with those. In fact, just this year we had a gourd much like this grow extra thick, thicker than normal because it just was dry.
yes.
And our crafters were not happy about it.
No, they had to retime everything because it is piece rate. So they had to retime those pieces because of the thickness of the
They
gourd.
just had to move so much slower.
Yeah.
And they craft so quickly with their jigsaws that it just looks, they make it look so easy because they move so fast.
They
and
do.
Then you add something like a gourd that's just too thick that keeps breaking their blades, and that really slows them down.
And they truly do make it look effortlessly because I have tried.
Me too. Yeah.
To craft stuff. Not easy.
I actually went to art school and I was like, gourd crafting and designing, I could totally do that. And it is not, it's not easy.
No.
They just make it look easy.
They do. But I really want to learn how to do it. Like officially. Because I was just like, oh, I want to learn. And then it was hard. And then I was like, oh, I don't know if I do. So now I'm like, I think I officially do want to try.
Well, don't sell yourself short because she ties bows on the tiniest nicks. Like like
that little bird.
Yes, this little bird. She ties that bow. Have you ever tied a bow that small? I've tried. It's not easy.
It's not. It takes a while to do that.
You think, oh, it's just a bow. I've tied a million bows in my life, but
it's different.
Yeah.
I keep messing.
So you have your own set of challenges back there.
Absolutely. I just keep messing with this.
But you like it. So I did, and again, don't mind my glue, but I did like a more taupe color. In person, it looks a little bit more like a tan than what it does on camera.
Yeah.
And then did you show them what yours looks like, Amber?
I did not.
So she did like a streaky.
that's nice. Oh, streaked it.
Yep. I
Really cool. Yeah, that's nice.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm gonna put my paints. Other than we do need to do the polka dots still for this guy. So I'm gonna say let's go ahead and how do I want to do this? We'll do the polka dots first. Okay, we'll do that. So I'm gonna take the back of my paintbrush and just dip that into the paint and put dots all over the top of the mushroom here. And there's no pattern for this whatsoever. It's wherever you want the dots, how many dots you want, how big, how small. The lighter you push on whatever you're using to make the dots, the smaller the dots are going to be. And the heavier you push, the thicker the bigger the dots are.
Oh, that's fun. Can we come up with a project where we just
sit and make dots on the
dot things?
Like
there is an art form like that.
Is it called like Aztec designs? Is that what it's called?
I would butcher it if I tried. So I'm not sure, but I know that there is, and it's very meditative. Let's do that. And then we can have another paint night out together.
Deal.
Just make dots.
Almost like the henna tattoos.
Yeah.
Kind of. Great. Now we should be officially done with the paints.
Okay.
And you can add dots anywhere else if you would like on your board.
Okay. Oh yeah, I guess you could put them on this roof too if you wanted.
Yep.
Okay.
So, next is the fun part. Not that any of this was not fun, because it was all fun.
So no paint, we're done with that.
Yep, all done with paint. I think how I want. Okay, so it was not sent in your kit, but I do want to give you the option of lighting your house. If you want with a tea light, if you have a tea light at your house and you want your little house to be lit, what I would do is just don't glue this down. So the step that I do to glue this down, just ignore that step. And yeah.
And I would just like to clarify that it has to be a battery operated because they are flammable. Another thing that people do that I think looks really cool is buy the battery operated fairy light and the little pack, and you can put that whole thing should fit right up through that hole. So those are both options if you want to have that as an option and not glue it down.
These are dry.
Oh no, I have here.
That's why I was like, I don't want them thinking I'm using all these baby
We
wipes,
buy
but
baby
they're
wipes
just-
in bulk. We have boxes and boxes of baby wipes.
Me too. Yes, thank you. So yeah, so that our next step is going to be gluing everything down onto our wood piece here. If you choose to do that, like I said, if you don't want to do that and you want this to light, just ignore these steps, and I will explain once we do the greenery what you can do if you're gonna just have it lit up and not glue it down. So you can't really light the little mushroom up, so that one you can glue down to the base.
Okay.
So first things first, what I would do is I would dump a whole bunch of your glue out. If you're gonna glue all of your pieces down, dump the glue out onto your piece here, and we're basically going to paint this base with our Q-tip and the glue. And you want to work semi-fast with this. Tacky glue does dry clear, but when you get it out and have a thin layer of it, it'll dry a lot faster. So I just take this glue and just like this, paint it on here. So that way, all we have to do is literally set these pieces down onto this base, and that's it. We don't have to actually sit here and paint this onto the base. We'll just put it right on here, and that way too we can put our greenery on. Now, if you're choosing to not glue your little house down, what I would do is sit your house onto your base and paint around the house with the glue. Just be careful not to touch your house with your glue. You just don't want to, you want to avoid trying to get all of that. Do not use all of your glue. We do need a little bit to glue our roof on our house and then our little mushroom top on.
Okay. You just do this right quick.
So some other things that you can certainly do that are not in the sample are we have seen a lot of people on these put some of the glue down into the bark. That can look really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we just had a create your own spring create your own and we have these cottages as a sample or as a project that they could do. They were putting the moss on the roofs and it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Or just building it up closer to the doors. Like you can really, you should have enough moss to really play.
Absolutely.
But the ones that put the moss on the roofs looked really, really neat.
Yes.
So it's certainly an option. You can definitely play with it.
Yes, I might play with it a little bit.
I think when I get home, I wanted to do a lighter color. I think I'm gonna like paint little tiny flowers on the like up
Yeah.
the sides here.
That would be super,
So
super cute.
yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be done when I leave here tonight. That's okay.
That's okay. Okay, so if you're gluing all of your pieces down onto your base, take your gourd, put it down on. Take the other mushroom. Now you want to make sure, because some of them have a bend to them, and you want to just see which way you want the bend to be. And that's where you're gonna glue that down. Once you get those two pieces down, then you're just gonna take your greenery and put it right around your pieces. Put it right onto your gourd, just like this.
And I like to break it apart a little bit. That way you can,
It goes
yeah, it goes on smoother and you can kind of finagle it a little bit better into the spaces that you want.
yes. And it goes a lot long, like it'll cover a lot bigger of an area too, if you break it up a little bit. That way you have more to do whatever. You want to add it.
Yeah, you can build on this as
Yeah.
well. Oh my gosh, Amber, you're like done.
So we also have scenes that we do with this moss. And so I'm very much so used to
Oh my gosh.
working very, very fast with the moss and doing the scenes.
So I know that I don't work in production, so I don't know all the things, but I do know that there is like a moss blender.
Yes.
What do you do with the moss blender? You just
So what Emily is talking about is, so this greenery, instead of sitting here and picking it apart like this, it takes a long time. And so to make this cost efficient, we actually use an actual blender that you would use for smooth.
Oh.
So it's an old blender. It's not anything new. Somebody had, and it's just old. So, and we do not use it for anything other than this moss. So we just throw the moss in there and blend it up, and it gets really fine. Not too fine, because you don't want it to look like sand. Like green sand. So but yeah, so it just makes it easy. So then you can put it in a container, and then I would just take this and literally sprinkle it on.
Yeah, because
And be done
those the
and
little
go.
bits that are falling down are perfect for like just picking up and
Yep.
sprinkling in all the little spots. So
Yes.
that's what you guys do.
Yes. I think I do want to.
You're gonna do moss on your roof? I'm not brave enough to do it. So I was hoping you would be.
I'm gonna do it up the sides, because I think like it can definitely grow up on the sides. So I'm gonna do that.
Also, I would just, if you are like me and you glued down your little baby mushroom bottom, I would just make sure that you left enough space for the cap to go on without hitting
Yes.
the big cottage.
Yes.
So I
Don't
just
worry.
tested that, and mine, it's still movable at this point with the leans, which is why I brought it up with the leans tech glue.
Mine
So.
just fell off, and I picked it up. There was like no glue on some of it. I'm just gonna put some glue on the bottom
Okay.
of it, if that happens to you. And yeah. Like I said, you still need a little bit of glue for the roof.
The kids are all done with their work. I bet they're in the store right now getting sodas and snacks. They get snack time before we send them home.
Yes.
Getting warm. You always know when it's farm crew time because we go through so many more snacks than usual in our snack corner in our store. So I think mine's looking pretty good. I have a spot in the back I want to get yet.
It's great.
Very good. Oh, I love that. You have to show them what you're doing.
So I just did the moss up the sides
Oh, how cute.
of it. So yeah,
That's so cute, Amber.
thank you. Okay. So to glue the tops of your pieces, what I would do for your mushroom, I would just put the glue on the very top of the bottom, the base. I would put a decent amount on there, like as if you were like squeezing glue. I would put a dot on the top. My dots are still wet.
Like the size of maybe an M&M.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry. Now I'm thinking about snacks.
That's fine. I just messed up my dots. That's okay. I'll fix them then.
That's such a cute little mushroom.
It is. I love it.
You're not sure how it's gonna like come together. Well, at least for me, I was like, I don't know, but that was like the perfect little shape.
Yes. I love your door frame.
I'm happy with it too. So I just did that like one very thin coat, and it actually kind of looks like wood. I left a few little brush strokes in it too, in the way that a wood grain would go. I'm happy with that.
Love it. Okay, and then our last piece that we need to glue on is our roof of our bigger gourd.
Fix your dot. Perfect. That's the great thing with this type of paint and stuff. You can always go back and adjust. Okay.
So one thing I want to mention about these roofs is if you flip them over, there should be a pencil mark on the inside. That pencil mark is to signal to you guys that that is the front of the gourd, the front of the roof that you want facing towards you. That way they are cut specifically so that way when you glue them on, the roof doesn't cover the door so much. And if it covers it too much, you can easily kind of glue it back a little bit. So I'm going to take my roof and I'm going to put the glue on the inside rim of this, just like this.
Okay. So just like where it starts to really go into the bell shape?
Yes. Because that should fit somewhere on the gourd so that it stays.
And we can use the rest of our glue for this, right?
Yes. Okay. Yep. We'll be all done with the glue.
Oh, no, this is
not sitting for you?
Sit right there.
If you don't love the way that it's sitting with the crafters telling you what the front is, you can make it whatever you would like.
Absolutely.
They did all.
And that is the complete.
So your roof is so shiny.
Yes.
Mine is, do I just need to add another coat, you think, to get mine as shiny as yours?
That's weird.
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna add another coat after it dries.
Yeah. Or like try one of your other containers. Did you use one versus the other?
I don't know which one I used. See. Okay. Interesting. See, yeah, I'm wondering if maybe because I just did a really light coat on this. And I thought, in fact, I was gonna go home and add another coat.
But yeah, you can see even in the video how shiny this is
compared
to this. Now,
so I'm gonna say it's probably a second coat will do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already looking shinier. Okay, perfect. Good to know. If anyone else was questioning why hers looks so professional and shiny.
So I will mention though too, if yours is dull like this, even after you do a second coat, you can spray these. And what we use is a polycrylic or
Polyacrylic.
a polycrylic. And you can just get that at like Walmart or
Lowe's, anywhere, really.
yeah, and spray it and it'll make it really shiny.
So we use polyacrylic because polyacrylic does not yellow.
Yeah.
So if you made anything in this project white, over time a polyurethane would yellow.
Mhm.
And I'm talking like years and years. But if you use a polyacrylic, it will not ever yellow. So
Mhm.
that is why we use that. But if you have a polyurethane spray and yours isn't white, that is a completely fine option too if you don't want to go out and spend money for the polyacrylic.
Yes.
But it can, a light spray, really make it pop too with the colors. So
Yes.
you thought you were done, and I'm adding another coat to my room. So how's everyone doing with their houses? How are we looking?
Oh, I like that.
Barbara, is that like a sagey green that you have there?
Yes, it's
I
your,
like
it's
it.
you guys' green.
Oh, it's our like coastal green.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
yeah, pastel green.
Okay.
Do you like it? Are you happy with
I
it?
love it. Yes.
Good. I'm glad. Well, if
This
you
was a
did
fun
decide to
class.
change your
I was
mind on the
looking
colors,
forward.
let us know. We could certainly help you out.
Yep, we're good.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I didn't know there could be that much of a difference.
Yeah,
Oh, yours is super cute too.
I like that.
Is the roof red? I couldn't tell.
I think so. Yes.
Oh, okay, it is. For a second, I thought that she left it like brown. So,
Yeah,
aw,
looks good.
nope, perfect. I love it. She did a dark brown like you.
Yes. Oh,
Awesome.
I love how they turned out. They're all
I'm-
three different.
Honestly, gonna go home and keep playing with mine. I'm having so much fun. So yeah, this is a fun one.
It was.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
so like
I've
we said,
asked them, and I keep tipping it upside down because I want to make sure my moss is stuck.
that's a good
Yes.
idea too.
Yes.
I'm afraid I might lose a piece of
Yeah,
mine, so I'm not going to do that
yes.
quite yet. But yeah, so I really had a lot of fun with you guys tonight. I don't get to do as many of these classes as I want. Dory and I kind of fight for spots on them.
Yeah.
But I really appreciated it. If you have any questions after the class, or if you're doing this later, you can email Dory the email address that you received the link from, or message us on Facebook. If you have any particular questions that I can help answer or anything like that, that is a good way to reach us there, or you can give us a call. And again, if you're missing anything, let us know and we'll send it out for you. And Barbara, I'm so sorry about your paint. We'll make it up to you.
There you go. We're good.
Okay. Well, if anyone has any questions, just let us know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I think we're
Yeah,
gonna
that's
go
that's
get a
it.
snack and go home ourselves,
to
huh?
our little girls.
Thank you.
Thank you
Yeah,
guys. Have a good
thanks.
night.